Do you think you're safe in a council property? Well, think again, because 53 families in Reading are already finding out you are not secure. They are being evicted. Now, you're probably wondering how you lose your security under a council. Now, here's what's happened here. Reading Council in 2016 set up a scheme called Homes for Reading, and this was set up so they could be a private landlord as well. Well, roll this on to 2024, they don't want to do that now. They want the housing that was at 101 homes, they want those homes in the side of the housing stock for the council. So, but they cannot do that while there is tenants in those homes. So they have to evict them, and they can leave voluntarily, or they will go through the actual evictions state, all the stages that you go through for eviction. So as of now, there's still 2 families there that haven't gone, so they will be evicted. The others have gone, where I don't know. But instead of giving the tenancies for these, going from the private sector to the council sector, instead of just swapping them and letting those families stay in those homes that they've built up for 9 years, they can't do that either because of legislation. And the legislation states that the housing stock for the council has to go back out to the public, you know, where you go online and you can bid for properties. It has to go on to them. So the families that are already established there, that they've had their lives there for 9 years, doesn't matter. You have to go, because you can't just change onto our housing stock. This is absolutely shocking, you know, especially with the council, and it's Labour run, by the way. With the council, that should have been their secure home. Whether it's on the private side of the council or the actual council side, it doesn't matter. It's still owned by the council. They've just set up another company. And I feel for those families that have been evicted from those homes. And now these houses are going to go out to the public to bid on. And that's 53 families without a home now. You know, they've had to go and find their own homes elsewhere. Now, this is something that should never have happened. This is something that was poorly laid out in the first place, without any thought of what might happen in the future, you know, because 20 years down the line, you know, they might have thought, well, we do want to go back to housing sector, but why did they not change the legislation around that? Why did they not word it properly so the families were able to stay in their homes, you know, where they brought kids up? And they've got roots there now, and just to turn around and say, well, actually, we want our house back. We don't want to be the private sector anymore. We're going to go back to the council, which means you have to go because we want our council house back. It doesn't make any sense. But just a thought that I'm going to throw in there, which probably a lot of you are already thinking. And this is going to be my last thought on this video. Who's really going in those council houses? I'll leave that one with you to make up your mind. Let me know in the comments.